Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Delivers the Moon.
There was a time when resources seemed endless. But in 2030, the great energy crisis began. With hardly any resources left on our world, global powers created the World Space Agency to look beyond the Earth for answers. The answer was found in helium-3, a powerful isotope discovered in abundance on the Moon. With it, humanity could satisfy its energy demand for decades to come. And so, in 2032, mankind colonized the Moon. Spearheaded by the Lunar Council, the WSA constructed several permanent settlements to harvest and process helium-3. The resulting energy was transferred to Earth through a revolutionary energy network, the Microwave Power Transmission, or MPT. For a time, all seemed well. Then, one fateful night in 2054, the lights went out. No energy. The MPT had gone offline, and communication with the lunar colonist was lost. Without earthly resources to launch a full-scale rescue mission to the Moon, the World Space Agency was shut down permanently in 2055. But a small group of former WSA colonists refused to accept humanity's bleak future. Determined to discover the colony's fate and to restore the MPT, they've been preparing their mission in an abandoned desert launch facility. Now, in 2059, they are ready to launch an astronaut to the Moon. What awaits is unknown and unforeseeable, but the mission is clear. Deliver us the Moon.
Friends and family of the missing lunar colonists gather all around the world tonight in remembrance of the 2054 MPT blackout that resulted in a global power outage and the loss of contact with the lunar colony. The blackout caused global turmoil, which ultimately led to the closure of the World Space Agency 1 year later. In other news, the recent formation of the largest dust storm on record has prompted climatologists to readjust their forecasts of the equatorial desert's growth rate. As a result of the new storm, the desert could soon cover 30% of the globe's landmass. Several governments have pledged support for refugees, despite reports of resource shortages. The dust storm is expected to hit
Tja, da sind wir also. Muss mal gucken, wie gut es läuft. Wenn nicht, muss ich vielleicht die Grafik ein bisschen runterstellen. Läuft noch was im Radio?
For countries north of the equatorial desert, temperatures are expected to be a mild 46 degrees Celsius. This was
A mild 46? Waren das jetzt Fahrenheit oder Celsius? Moonman, Far Crossing. Ach, das kann man auch noch lesen. Far Crossing, backside. A brave astronaut ventures to the moon. His mission to explore the lunar expanse and uncover its mysteries. While the road is desolate and hardships many, he knows he must persevere to save mankind. Ups. R drücken. Ist ein bisschen groß, die Anzeigen. Ja, wir wollen nicht über den Tisch laufen. Ground Launch Sequencer, Orbital Access Arm, Auxiliary Power Units und was weiß ich was alles. Alles schön markiert. Das brauchen wir vermutlich vielleicht mal alles mal. Launch sequence command module blueprint. You've done it 1,000 times before during our simulations. We know you can do this. Good luck, Claire. Muss man das jetzt extra nochmal lesen? Ich glaube nicht. Launch sequence. Activate ground launch sequencer. Retract orbital access arm. Put orbital access arm in place. Activate auxiliary power units. Retract gaseous oxygen vent arm. Put, wie spricht sich das? Gaseous oxygen vent arm in place. Activate sound suppression system. Activate hydrogen burn-off system. Start main engine. Activate main engine cutoff. Perform stage separation. Activate second stage ignition. Ah ja. Schalten wir das mal ab. Kommt hier nichts Vernünftiges.
Fortuna, are you there?
Wo hat's denn da gerade gesprochen? Das ist vermutlich der Knopf hier für diese Kammer. Kann man noch was lesen hier? Fossil fuel depletion worse than thought. Energy crisis unavoidable. Global energy resources will run out far sooner than previously predicted, according to a report released today by the World Space Agency. The dire assessment stems in part from new data collection by the organization that indicates the depletion of fossil fuels has accelerated at a rate faster than previous models have shown. The findings precede a planned United Nations Security Council hearing. Ja, ich komme doch gleich. Hearing to address the energy crisis. The outcome of the study was terrifying, frankly, even for us. With our current burn rates, our ability to power the planet could be exhausted within a year, said Dr. F. Mesera, a representative of the agency. Mesera declined to say how the report might inform the scheduled UN deliberations. WSA takeoff, mission to find new energy sources. The World Space Agency successfully launched a manned rocket destined for the moon this morning, marking the first such launch since the Apollo mission ended 60 years ago. The Lunar Council, which was established in 2028 to oversee WSA operations, is expected to relocate to the moon in 2 years, upon completion of the first stage of the planned colony. The agency intends to begin harvesting the moon's resources for energy production within a decade. WSA officials are scheduled to release an update of the rocket's status later today. Eugen's research facilities to remain closed. WSA considers damage irreversible. The World Space Agency has officially announced that Eugen's research facility has suffered irreparable damage during the cryosleep malfunction in June 2048. The base, which has been strictly forbidden under WSA protocol, will now remain off limits indefinitely. A long-time awaited decision has elicited outcries from the scientific community, which considers the Eugen's facility a key component for shaping humanity's future. Research conducted inside the lunar base explored the possibilities of cryosleep. Many had hoped that it would yield the knowledge required to safely induce artificial hibernation necessary to prevent aging during long-distance space travel. Despite its importance, the WSA considers it unjustifiable to dedicate an expedition to recovering Eugen's facility. We have carefully weighed the risks, merits and expenses of salvaging and repairing the Eugen's research facility, says Colony Commander MacArthur. Time and again, the conclusion remains the same. It's not safe. WSA colony goes dark. Fear of meltdown in fusion reactor. An unexpected power outage at the World Space Agency lunar colony has severed communications with the colonists and disrupted the MPT's energy transmission to Earth. The abrupt blackout occurred at 2 o'clock and 7 minutes AM GMT today, confounding WSH officials on Earth and prompting concerns that the lunar colony's fusion reactor may contain structural flaws. In a press conference this morning, the agency downplayed worst-case scenarios, but admitted that little is yet known about the incident. The blackout comes 13 years after the MPT was brought online in 2041. The Tomball power plant, where the MPT fusion reactor is stationed, was designed by WSA colonists to ensure safe and continuous power generation and transmissions. Uninterrupted transmissions has become increasingly important due to the scarce amounts of fossil fuels left on Earth and the world's resulting dependency on MPT. Den kann man lesen. MPT Online. MPT transmits power from the moon to Earth. The microwave power transmission MPT generates power inside a fusion reactor and sends it wirelessly to receivers on Earth, fueled by helium-3 harvested on the moon. While the MPT took over a decade to complete, the energy signal traveled rapidly from the lunar colony to Earth. The World Space Agency believes the MPT can transmit enough energy from the colony's fusion reactor to supply approximately 20% of the Earth's population. The percentage is expected to rise quickly. In another decade, the MPT could power all of Earth, said Dr. Isaac Johansson, the agency's lead scientist. Earth will never be in the dark again. Is it working yet? Hat eine Mikrowelle in der Hand. Aha. Stop hoping for magic solutions. MPT disaster has proven its failure. The WSA was founded by our trusted governments with the promise to bring the dawn of a new space age, to break us free from the chains of fossil fuels and enable us to look outward to the stars powered by helium-3 and the revolutionary MPT network. There have been few lies sold this beautifully, and we all fell for it without even doubting it for a second. In retrospect, we shouldn't be surprised that the lunar colonization failed disastrously. But here we are now, a year later, in a world which has failed to learn the lessons from our mistakes. We have made people pray for a magic solution, returning from the sky to save us from inescapable doom. The MPT raised our hopes up high, making its inevitable fall more painful. We must stop looking for the skies for our salvation, instead start looking here on the Earth. The solution isn't out there in space, it's down here, and we have to do it with what we have, here and now. Lunar colony disaster. Eugene's cryosleep malfunction. Eugene's cryosleep experiments responsible for major disaster. Lunar colony in state of emergency after cryosleep generator malfunction. In the wake of a fatal error inside its cryosleep machinery, the Eugene's research facility has suffered severe damage. The death toll at the facility is still being tallied, and it is unclear when, if ever, the facility will be open again for research. The lunar base, which is vital to the WSA scientific activities on the moon, has been evacuated until further notice. Witness accounts speak of an icy nightmare. The WSA has yet to comment on the exact amount of damage the facility has suffered, so preliminary reports maintain that the extremely low temperatures and built-up permafrost have made the facility nearly inaccessible. The malfunction set in motion a cascade of disasters, says Maria Gonzalez, head researcher on the cryosleep team and one of the few survivors. One critical error led to another. The consequences were devastating. Families left behind by the tragedy have urgently requested that the bodies be returned to Earth. World celebrates hope and mourns tragedy. Tribute to 90 years of space exploration and loved ones lost during 54 blackout. Today, exactly 90 years ago, the world stood still while witnessing the first person in history to walk the surface of the moon. It was Neil Armstrong who took the legendary first step. This moment set the foundation for what we now know as the first space age. The accomplishments of every astronaut who set out to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe are celebrated worldwide on Global Space Day. The celebrations include a moment of silence to commemorate WSA members who gave their lives to the development of humanity. Our thoughts go out to the families who lost loved ones during the lunar blackout of 54. Tribute to 90 years of space exploration and loved ones lost during the 54 blackout. Who lost loved ones during the lunar blackout of 54? The reasons for the blackout and what has happened to those on the moon remain a mystery. To this date, no initiative has found the resources to mount an investigative mission to the moon. Neil Armstrong taking the first steps on the moon on the 20th of July 1969 during the Apollo 11 mission. Ja, jetzt haben wir das alles gelesen und war das eine ganze Menge, ja? Ja. For humanity, for the future. Ja, I copy. Ich glaube, ich drücke jetzt einfach mal den Knopf.
Ground control to Fortuna 1, this is Claire. Please confirm radio contact.
WSA. Welcome. Confirm contact.
Radio contact confirmed. Make your way to the launch platform and prime the rocket for liftoff. We have to launch before the dust storm hits.
Enter the Fesenkopf Launch Facility. Okay, sonst haben wir wohl nichts. Dieser Pip-Boy so am Arm. Fesenkopf Cosmodrome.
There she is.
2059.
It took us 4 years to get her ready for launch. But you need to hurry. The dust storm will hit this area in a few hours. If we don't succeed now, the Fortuna mission will be over for good.
Ja, hier sieht es jetzt schon ein bisschen aus wie auf dem Mars. Ist aber die Erde. Was haben wir hier? MPT Network Dish, created by Isaac Johnson. The MPT transmitted power from the moon to the Earth through a network of satellite dishes. Since Isaac's disappearance from the 2054 blackout, Claire Johnson has studied her father's work closely in preparation for the Fortuna mission. Da kann man wohl irgendwelche Sachen finden. Was haben wir hier? An Astro tool has detected scattered traces of information originating from the lunar colony. On-site data recovery could yield insights to the sender, content and receiver of the message. Das läuft wohl ein bisschen langsam. Encrypted message. The Astro tool has picked up an encrypted transmission from an unknown source. So unintelligible in its current state, it appears that collecting more database items is key to unlocking the message. Aha, wir müssen also irgendwelche Sachen hier finden. Schauen wir mal. Ja, dass die Solarzellen, die geben anscheinend zu wenig Energie für die Erde. Vielleicht, weil auch immer hier die Sandstürme sind und es dann die Zellen beeinflusst. Mit Shift können wir sprinten. Aber ich glaube, in so einem Anzug sollte man sich nicht überanstrengen. Schon gar nicht hier auf der Erde. Da hat jemand die Tür offen gelassen. Dann geht auch der ganze Sand rein. Moment, was war da draußen gestanden? Home is where we are together, Claire Johnson. Das ist meiner. Mein Zukunfts-Ich muss hier gleich mal einschreiten und was klarstellen. Ich bin die ganze Zeit davon ausgegangen, dass wir eine der zwei Schwestern spielen. Aber das ist gar nicht so. Wir spielen als Rolf. Sie haben ja nie den Helm ab und sehen, wer der Protagonist ist. Vielleicht wurde es am Anfang auch richtig erzählt, ich weiß es nicht. Aber irgendwie hatte ich das so reinbekommen, dass wir eine der Schwestern werden. Und zwar die große Schwester, die auf der Suche nach Cassie ist. Aber in Wirklichkeit ist es Rolf, der nach seiner Kollegin Sarah sucht. Ich werde es im gesamten Spieldurchlauf falsch erzählen, also sorry dafür. Elizabeth kept Jones's family together after her husband Isaac assumed a role on the Lunar Council. After her death, Claire took care of her sister Casey before she was taken to the moon to live with Isaac. Both Isaac and Casey have not been seen since the blackout. Elizabeth Johnson, 2005 till 2049. Mother, wife, the light of our lives, forever in our hearts. The ceremony will take place in Hampstead Funeral Homes 182 Haverstock Hill. Da ist noch der Ehering. Da hat sie noch Sachen aufgehoben von ihrer Mom. Auch ein Bild, vermutlich aus der Jugend. Claire, Cassie. Von ihrer Schwester Sachen aufgehoben. Miami. Untergegangen. Paris. Eine Mikrowelle. Casey Christina Johnson. Als sie geboren wurde. Cassie. Daddy ist auf dem Mond. Mami ist im Himmel. Und die weinenden Kinder sind mit dem Teddy unten auf der Erde. Oh. Toilette, man kann die Toilette spülen, okay. Machen wir erstmal den Deckel zu. Aber spülen brauchen wir jetzt nicht. Wasser ist sicher, falls es überhaupt Wasser hat, sicher selten. MPT. End to the Age of Wires. Isaac Johnson. Imagine a world free of fossil fuels and pollution. All of our energy needs satisfied in the blink of an eye. A system that can wirelessly transmit energy all over the world and beyond. This is the MPT, the microwave power transmission. In this book, MPT inventor Isaac Johnson discusses what the future might hold for this revolutionary system. Da ist Claire und Cassie wieder. Und Claire ist auf die Erde zurückgeblieben, weint. Cassie ist zu ihrem Vater auf den Mond geflogen. So, da muss man ein bisschen aufpassen hier, dass man da nicht hängen bleibt. Geht's da rein? Nein. Sputnik Monument. A monument marks the entrance of the Fesenkopf Cosmodrome. The facility was abandoned until the Fortuna team made its base of operation after the blackout and began preparation for the humanity's last mission to space. The sign reads, "To the stars." Aha. Was war das jetzt? Eine Mini-Rakete? Können auch die Leiter benutzen. Aber erstmal den Aufzug kommen lassen müssen.
To the facility. The control center is located on the top floor. There you can prime the rocket for launch.
Ah, da ist die Antenne.
Since we last received a microwave power transmission from the lunar colony. At first, no one believed it would be possible to transmit energy from the moon back to Earth. But the WSA proved the skeptics wrong. Just like you will, when you get the MPT back online.
So, dann gehen wir da mal rein. Ja, jetzt ganz schön dunkel. Der ist fast leer, der Automat. Ist hier noch was? If power's out, use the code 3548 for the door. Können wir wohl nicht rein. Können wir hier Licht machen? Naja, sozusagen. Ein paar Werbeplakate.
This building once functioned as part of the WSA, but it's been our home for many years now. I still can't believe you'll be leaving here for good soon. The desertification of this whole region won't take long after the storm passes through.
Issue 34, Space Tech Magazine, Blackout 2054. What happened to the MPT? Life without MPT, a year after the blackout. Space Tech. In this edition, we invite world-renowned scientists to discuss what could have caused the MPT to remain offline, what might have happened to the lunar colonists, and how humanity should move forward. Wir müssen also den Strom irgendwie wieder anbekommen. Ansonsten sieht es schlecht aus für die Erde. Hier schläft einer, da hat einer noch Bilder. Deliver us the moon steht hier zum Beispiel drauf. Passend. Ach, hier hätten wir einen Aufzug nehmen können. Ah, hier ist ein Zettel. Missing Colonist Dossier. Isaac Johnson, PhD, Education University of Dambridge. Mechanical Engineering and Architecture, Lunar Council Member, missing. Relatives Casey Johansson, Claire Johansson, Elizabeth Johansson, deceased. Missing since 2409-2054. Last known whereabouts, Copernicus Moon Hub. Psychological profile, known workaholic, consumed with creation and maintaining of MPT. Obsessive tendencies caused rifts in personal relationships. Increasingly reclusive after death of wife, Elizabeth Johansson. Tja. Da können wir gleich mal in den nächsten Raum reingehen. Sieht ja ganz nett aus. Hier haben wir noch einen Blick nach draußen. Ja, dann würde ich sagen, bevor wir weitermachen, machen wir an dieser Stelle lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.